the Trans-Pacific Partnership is something that's been getting a lot of attention in the press internationally recently, not as much at home in the States. What do you make of the TPP so far?
It's very hard to make anything of the TPP because it's been kept very secret, half secret, I should say. It's not secret from the hundreds of corporate lawyers and lobbyists who are writing the legislation. To them, it's perfectly public. They're, in fact, writing it. It's being kept secret from the population, which, of course, raises obvious questions. And we even have some answers to those questions because one part of it leaked. It was leaked and released by WikiLeaks. It's the section on intellectual property rights. And what are called intellectual property rights are simply highly protectionist measures introduced to maximize profit for pharmaceutical corporations, huge media conglomerates, and so on. It's called free trade, but that's just a joke. These are extreme, highly protectionist measures designed to undermine freedom of trade. And in fact, much of what's leaked about TPP is really indicates it's not even about trade at all. It's about investor rights. Very much like NAFTA and the World Trade Organization rules. They're called free trade agreements, but in fact it's kind of a mixture of elements of liberalization, high protection, high protectionist measures, and an array of investor rights, which basically have nothing to do with trade. Actually, one economist, Dean Baker, a very good economist, suggested that he would take his old car and name it a free trade agreement, and then he could sell it for millions of dollars to the press. Well, that's pretty much what's happening. So we can't say a lot about TPP, but the little we can say is that it looks like yet another device concealed from the public for good reasons, which is designed to carry forward the neoliberal project to maximize profit and domination, and to set the working people of the world in competition with one another so as to lower wages and increase insecurity, but to protect at the same time those who are sometimes called the plutonomy, the ones who really matter, the top wealth sector throughout the world, highly concentrated in the United States, but elsewhere too, also China, Russia, other places. They're the ones who count, and the rest of the world will become what's sometimes called a precariat, people who try to survive at a precarious level. You take a look at the wage level of working people in the United States. It's startling. I mean, I don't remember the exact numbers, but a high percentage, maybe 40% or so, are actually living below the poverty line. The poverty line is ridiculously low. This is the neoliberal assault, and the TPP, from what we know of it, it looks like another step towards carrying out these long-term goals. And it's very understandable that it should be kept secret from the public. Why should people be allowed to know what's happening